Hey everyone, I am back with a new video and this is going to be a video of me using the Winsor & Newton Pro Markers and brush markers. I'm sure you guys have already heard of this brand since a lot of videos from various YouTubers surfaced recently talking about these products, so I'm very excited to give these a try as well as see what others have been raving about. So Winsor & Newton were kind enough to send these markers for me to try. So throughout the video, I will be talking about my thoughts on the markers, and also I'll be comparing these to the Copic markers, which is the main brand of graphic markers that I use. If you want to know the other markers that I used and also reviewed, feel free to check out my marker alternatives video, which I will link in the description box below. The marker sets that I received were the ProMarker Set 1, which is a set of 12 bright colors with a bonus marker called Blender. So that's a total of 13 markers. These markers have a fine bullet nib and a broad chisel nib, and the colors in the set are canary, bright orange, ruby, rose pink, amethyst, sky blue, indigo blue, lime green, forest green, henna, cool gray for black, and of course the blender. This set retails for $49.99 US dollars based on their official website. Then they also sent me the BrushMarker skin tone set, which consists of 6 markers in total. The brush markers have the brush nib and the broad chisel nib, and the colors are almond, blush, dusky pink, praline, saddle brown, and burnt sienna. This set in particular retails for $29.99 US dollars, and these markers also have a sticker on the cap that shows each marker's code, which I think is very convenient for storage and also as you use the markers. And the difference between the Pro and Brush is that the word brush is actually written on each brush marker, whereas the Pro markers just have the letter and the number on them. Now, just some basic information about this brand. The individual price of both the Pro and brush markers is $4.99 US dollars, which, if converted to Australian dollars, is roughly $7, which in comparison to Copic is more expensive than a Copic Chow, but cheaper than a Copic Sketch and Original. Now, I haven't used these for a long time since I just got them recently, so I can't say if these will last long, but based on the physical size of the barrel, it looks to have more ink than a Copic Chow. The only thing that threw me off this product is that, as of now, it is not refillable. Now, I don't know if the brand is planning on manufacturing refill bottles for the markers, but for me, graphic markers have to be refillable if I want to really invest in a brand. So for now, I'm hesitating on actually expanding more on this brand because it doesn't offer that longevity that I look for in graphic markers. Speaking of expanding, they do carry a substantial range of colors. So the Pro markers have 148 colors and the brush markers have 72 colors. Perhaps in the future they will be adding more colors. That's usually how it goes for some brands. I think the range is decent. It's not as wide as Copic's or the Touch Twin markers, but it's definitely still a lot to choose from. You can still create amazing artworks from their current selection. So those are the specifications of the products and some factors to consider when choosing between brands. As for the actual quality of the product, all I can say is that I'm really impressed. The colors in the set go really well together, which is something that I usually hesitate with when thinking of buying small sets. For example, this had bright and basic colors like red, orange, blue, all that. And usually you think that there's not much you can do with those colors because there's only one shade of red or violet, so how can you achieve shading with these markers? But surprisingly, they blend really well together even for colors that are not in the same color family. It's similar to the Copics, like in my demonstration of my marker alternatives video. And one example of that is how I colored in the leaves. I like doing that technique where I use orange and green together to achieve the color that I really want, but with the Copic markers, I usually use a peachy color. And when I saw the bright orange marker in the set, I was worried that it wouldn't blend with the green marker, but it did. And that's eventually when I was impressed. So even though they are completely different colors, you can still layer them and create a combo color. So that's awesome. I'm not saying though that this is the only brand that can do that, but the shade of colors that they chose for this particular set makes it a great beginner pack in my opinion, because I used red and brown together, pink and blue, and pink and orange. So even though you only get 12 colors in this set, you can still achieve shading. So you don't have to stick to flat coloring if you don't want to do that. Aside from that, everything seems to be similar to Copic markers and touch twin markers. The brush nib works just as well. Same goes for the bullet nib. The ink quality is great, so this is definitely a brand that you can consider when choosing between various brands of graphic markers. And that is it with this video. I will link the Winsor & Newton website in the description box if you want to know more about the brand and the products mentioned in this video. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos. Don't forget to check the description box for all my social media links, such as Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Tumblr. I also have my Society 6 shop linked below if you want to check out my artworks as giclée prints and other art merchandise. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.